Right, so let's go over how you name a covalent compound. In order to do that, you first of all need to memorize these prefixes, and I would suggest if you just go through them, and some of them you know already, like di, tri, tetra, maybe not. But if you need help, you can just make flashcards, and I would put the number on one side and obviously the prefix on the other, and just train yourself, go back and forth, because you need to remember what they are. And then as you look at the compound, the first element in the compound, you're just going to keep it the way it is. And if there is a number right next to it as a subscript, then you will have to use one of those prefixes. And then the second element, you are going to kind of cut off part of the word and then end the word with an "ide." And also, just like with the first element, you're going to have to use the prefix. So right here we have phosphorus, and we also have fluorine. So phosphorus we're going to keep the same way it is, but we are also going to incorporate the fact that there are two of those, 2 atoms of phosphorus. And then we also have 5 atoms of fluorine. So the prefix for 2 is di, and the prefix for 5 is penta. So we're going to end up with 2 words. Diphosphorus. We do not change the name of the element that precedes the second one. So the first element, we name it the way it is with the prefix in front of it. So diphosphorus. And the second word, fluorine, is going to turn into, so what we're going to do, we're chipping off the end of the word, and we add "ide" at the end. So we end up with penta for 5, fluoride. Another example. If your first element is 1, like here we have carbon by itself, there is no subscript under it. So we technically would have to say mono, but we don't, only for the first element. So our second element is oxygen, and there is 2, and you all know that this is carbon dioxide, right? Because it's carbon the way it is. We do not say monocarbon dioxide, we just say carbon dioxide. And then here are a few more examples. So we have here 3 examples. First one, we need to name it. The second one, we also need to name it. And for the third one, we need to write out the formula. So S2, so we have sulfur, and we have fluorine, so, and we have di and hexa for 6. So we have disulfur and hexafluoride. Disulfur, hexafluoride. The next one is we have iodine, and we have chlorine, but it's 1 chlorine, so we have to add mono, and then instead of chlorine we're going to say chloride. So iodine monochloride. And then triselenium octabromide. So that tells you that the element here, selenium and bromine, right here. So, and since there's tri and octa, this stands for 3, and this stands for 8. So you're going to write out this formula. And then if we have diatomic molecules, that's when we have 2 atoms forming a molecule, because that makes them more stable. That's it for naming covalent bonds.